All right. Well, welcome back to this second half of this the Wu-Tang Clan takeover of speed gaming. This is the back half of a double header that we've got going on right now. This is a match featuring Method Thought from the U, aka EmoSaru, versus Scary Olive from Two Furious. Scary Olive, aka the Olive Fit, as I'm going to be calling him. We're getting a start here. I'm joined by Solsky, aka the SZA, won the previous match versus Trinex. So GG on that.
I'm the strongest one.
You're the strongest one. Well, there's only one member of the U that is currently undefeated, and hopefully she stays that way.
All right, so we're off. Randomizer, what do you feel about it?
I feel that I'm glad that you two are covering it, is what I feel, especially after watching you play it. Definitely not playing to my strong suits, but I think definitely playing to both of your strong suits a little bit more. So there's definitely a lot of changes. For those of you just joining us, didn't catch the first half of this, the way this works is basically all the enemies in the game are going to be randomized. So like a lot of the standard strats that you may see aren't necessarily going to work because you just have to be a lot more reactive and be on your feet. Bosses are also randomized. The way it's working in this particular mode is that all the bosses are, so you're guaranteed to see all of them, and 3 of them are doubled up because of the extra bosses in GT, but they can be anywhere, the doubles. So it changes the routing a little bit. One of the one logic change that's there is that Eastern doesn't no longer requires the bow to get to the back. And besides that, I think you were pointing this out in the interview before, but you tend to want to deprioritize dungeons a little bit because you don't know what the boss is going to be, and there's a bunch of bosses you can't defeat without certain items.
Right, so you kind of randomizer kind of demands a different approach than a regular randomizer. I mean, a regular randomizer, it can get pretty point A, point B, where you have the item, you go to the dungeon, you complete it. The caveat to that, like you mentioned, is that the bosses are randomized. So I could go into Eastern, and it's kind of a little more advanced, but say I don't need the bow anymore because the enemies are replaced, and I can get to the boss. That boss could be like an Argus, and I might need that hookshot for it. So it'd be pretty interesting to see how the players strategize. I think we'll get a taste of that early on to see how they play it.
It's a very interesting and specific situation you just mentioned there.
Pretty basic, but okay.
I was saying it's literally the one you just had 5 minutes ago. But like the opening's still gonna be relatively standard. Just kind of coming here, looking for your initial progression, trying to get bombs, trying to get money. Coming to Kakariko. Kakariko just has a bunch of locations. Looks like all is choosing to do the south route. I'm not the biggest fan of that route, but it does give you a chance to pick up a couple bombs. But they're 50-50 bombs, so you could be stuck there for a while just farming them. It looks like he was able to get a couple quick ones, and it's just coming to Kakariko normally. The one exciting thing in Randomizer in Kakariko is Chicken Hut. The chickens are randomized. Normally, completely just easy location to get. Could actually be difficult to get, especially without any weapon or anything early. So it just depends on what's in there. But one of those small things that you just may not be thinking of, something that's just normally completely free and easy, and could just be a disaster. So it's actually not too bad with the BMOs. I mean, they're scary, but you can just sort of deal with them.
Yeah, it's not the worst. If you had like Redguard in there, that would be pretty bad.
Yeah, even just one. But the Popos you can deal with, the BMOs you can just bait. So all doing a nice job with it. But certainly a room you actually have to think about going in there.
Alright, so not a whole lot going on right now. Just a book, shovel, and a quick medallion, I believe.
Yeah, and we brought this up a little bit in the previous one, but medallions, a couple of items that normally really don't get used or really care about. Normally medallions are just seen as, oh, I can get into Misery Mire or Turtle Rock, excuse me. Actually, the medallions can be somewhat useful in Randomizer because they can just clear out the rooms. Not having pre-canned strats, sometimes the fastest thing to do is just to go ahead and use the medallion. Although like Quake is not the best one because it only hits enemies on the ground, but it's still at least a tool that they can potentially use.
Right. The other downside with Quake is that in a lot of instances, the enemies will actually turn into the onions as well. So while you're turning them to an easier enemy, you're kind of just prolonging the room clear if needed. So say like in GT, for example.
Yeah, I think it would be more of a just not necessarily a fast thing to do, but more of a safe thing. Quake's probably not your go-to item ever.
I guess it could be used in like defensive situations too, right? Like when I think about that, I think you know, the Dark Europa room in Escape would be a good use of that. Like if you had a lot of tough enemies in there, you can just use Quake and then kind of slide on by pretty easily.
Yeah, the other thing, like with Quake, one of the things that becomes a lot more challenging and nigh impossible in some situations are dark rooms, where previously you can just have them memorized. Depending on what the enemies are in those dark rooms, sometimes they just can't really be dealt with. And like you said, like Quake doesn't kill some enemies, and then turns other ones into onions. So like if you use it in the back of like Eastern, it may not even kill the enemy with the key, and then you got to go hunt down the onion on top of it. So not the best option, but certainly something that may be useful at least here early on. But definitely want to be seeing some more medallions for some of those situations.
Good question, Chad. Is does freezing things with Ether make them show up in the dark rooms? The answer is yes, it does.
I think the other thing Randomizer really rewards is like if you're just playing just straight randomizer, you're speedrunning the game, you pretty much only need to know a certain subset, and you only need to know about the situations you have to deal with. Randomizer really promotes just like understanding the game in general. That's something that I don't actually know a lot about, with just like some of those weird interactions, like Solsky mentioned, like freezing enemies showing up in dark rooms, or exactly what enemies get killed by Quake, or because normally in a speedrun you won't even use Quake. So like I don't necessarily know like every single interaction every enemy has with Quake. So knowing those weird things, just how everything in this game ticks, can be really advantageous in this mode.
Yeah, absolutely. And that just gets compounded when Randomizer, of course, dials up and then has like chaos damage or health. Knowing things like, hey, a Hinox will die to one bomb can be very useful.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Yeah, they'll die to one bomb. The mini helmets will die to one bomb. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I've definitely seen like some Endermite, or even some of the other weird modes, like that new cross the dungeon one, where it's like cross dungeons, cross keys. I've watched people play that, and just like there's a bunch of stuff that like I go like I did not know that about this game. Wow, 2 early boot seeds back to back. Truly, we are blessed.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Boots gloves. I kind of like the play to Ice Rock Cave just because you just got boots, and it's a really quick dip up there. But I think Olive is just going to go ahead and exercise the Bonk Rocks and back of Escape player.
Yeah, I think I'm with you with doing the Ice Rod. You also have the boots too. The only thing is you don't have the Zora money right now if you wanted to do the Water Walk, because Zora is in Logic now with those gloves. It's actually maybe a reason to delay it, because it's in Logic, so it's more likely to be something you need now. So it looks like Emo will be going up to Ice Rod, and I kind of expect, if you're gonna make this play, I feel like you're gonna do the Water Walk up there as well.
Yeah, so, she just set up for it, so yeah, she'll be doing that after.
The problem is the only item with these water checks that becomes in Logic is Zora, which with her money situation is the only one that she cannot check. So it will be a little awkward. But if Zora can still just not have anything, and it could one of the Flippers checks could have something. So we'll see if this pays off or not, or see if this could come back to haunt her relatively early on.
I think in this instance, I really just like checking out the sequence of waterfall into hobo, because then you can keep the water walk state the whole time and just dash through. And it's like super fast. Especially if you don't have the rupees. Like you can always scout the ledge, but it just gives you a nice like 3-item combo very quickly. So we'll see how Emo routes it.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be doing what you're saying. This is the other thing with other thing that you can forget with Randomizer is with these fake flippers. Like normally you just have to deal with a couple Zors and stuff that you know you can deal with. With Randomizer, there can be anything in there, like a Lionel on the water or something.
Yep.
Oh, and yeah, this actually happened to Trinex in the earlier match. The refill unfortunately kicks you out of that water walk state. But again, in this instance, like she wouldn't have been able to tear that water walk up to the ledge anyways. Oh, that's no good. Yeah, the water walk's still going to give you. This is the problem with the fake flippers. What is? Okay. I wasn't. Yeah.
Because she has some Q. Nope.
Oh, that's a hard lock? Oh,
yeah,
geez.
that's a hard lock. It's not that bad. Her last SNQ. Oh, yeah, actually, no. She's gonna have to do mini Wolverine game again.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's real unfortunate that I mean, it wouldn't have been a problem if it wasn't for that heart refill. So that's just real unfortunate.
I'm just gonna go ahead and blame you right away.
Yeah, no, this is definitely my luck infecting the entire team. The only good luck I ever get is when I'm playing Hundo while inebriated. I cannot not get one dig. Besides that, my luck is terrible.
Yeah, it's possible she pressed it a direction when she landed.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
Either was that or something to do with the water walk setup.
Well, so in the vanilla game, if you get hit in that state, what it does is the game tries to put you back where you jumped out.
Right.
And if you didn't jump out on the same screen you were originally, it kind of gets confused and just throws you into a water, and it's a soft lock. Randomizer, because you have the fake flipper glitch that you're allowed to use, didn't want to do that, so they made it so if you get hit, you should just instantly die. It turns into a one-hit kill. So it's the same effect without the nasty soft lock effect. So it's really weird that the randomizer portion didn't kick in and just kill her. It's weird that it kind of reverted to the vanilla behavior there. I haven't seen that before in the randomizer. Yeah, it might be a weird effect with the randomizer. Although I've definitely died with playing randomizer. I think so. I'm not sure, but it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate time loss. It would have been nice if it just killed, then she wouldn't have had to go back down to the mini Moldorm. So I'm following my complaint as we speak right now.
I feel like I've seen that before. I can't remember if it was me or someone else that it happened to, but I feel like I've seen that in the exact same scenario. Like they got hit near that waterfall.
It's probably a weird interaction with you getting into the fake flipper state from the heart refill instead of normally. I think that's probably confusing the game even more than it's normally confused.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought Scaryolive was actually going to go to all the way in the back desert, but I've been.
Yeah, can't complete desert right now because we are missing any sort of fire sword. Well, that is a convenient place for a sword. Would have been nice to have that coming into desert, but
yeah, specifically in Randomizer, but yeah, it's fine. They get a blue mail and a hammer out of this track with a sword to end. It's a pretty good.
Yeah,
so far.
That blue mail spot, I think this is just like a standard open. You may see them actually skipping that because you know what you're going to have to deal with if you're confident dealing with the game. Mm-hmm. You don't really need blue mail, and that's not the fastest pickup. You might pick it. It's not that bad. But in Randomizer, just like any health, any sort of, because you don't know what you're going to see, you can't be prepared. So the wisest course of action is just to pick up all the reasonable safeties that you can get your hands on. Because you can get into some pretty nasty situations. So anytime you see health or a mail like that in a situation where maybe normally you wouldn't get it, like even you in your previous match, you picked up heart on pyramid. That's maybe a one that you would skip, but Randomizer, just go ahead and get it. Like you're trying to cut it too thin by skipping those little things.
Yeah, it's definitely, again, it's, you kind of play the game a little bit different, and you're a little more defensive in the early on. I think 4 hearts, regardless, you probably would pick up that mail. That's just me, just because you never know like what's gonna happen if you're gonna run into hearts or anything like that. But definitely an Randomizer, it's like a no-brainer. Mails, early hearts, they're all prioritized. Even in like a normal one without like the damage or health, just because you can run into some really tricky rooms.
Yeah, and I'll picking up the Master Sword. Master Sword, part of the chain that could potentially get you into Aga. Early on, you're basically looking for either stuff to get you into Aga, so Master Sword or Cape plus Lamp, or you're looking for gloves and hammer. Well, actually, we have gloves and hammer already. Never mind.
Yeah.
So we're still just looking for, basically just looking for Moonbrawl. That'll give us our Dark World access. So seeing the Master Sword there, normally that would be something you're thinking maybe Aga, but because they already have the other 2 pieces of it, it's not a big deal. Really, the only way it's gonna look like it's gonna be Aga at this point is if it's literally like Moonbrawl on Pyramid.
It's like a 5%er at this point, right? Like you just said, Moonpearl and Pyramid is really the
Yeah,
only...
I don't think it's 5%. I think it's like a 0.5%er. Was that an intentional death that Emo took?
It might have been to get to the door quicker. I'm not sure. I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was.
Let's just be biased and say it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Smart death warp.
She knew what she was doing, guys.
Smart death warp by the only undefeated member of the U so far.
So looking like just the Master Sword so far from Escape, I like the early Escape play, but now we're going to see Sash Cave into Eastern from Scaryolive. Do you consider breaking Death Mountain at this point with the glove, or do you just kind of want to keep on logic?
I wouldn't. The thing is, the Death Mountain access is so thin right now. You really only have the 2 locations. I don't think it's worth it just for 2. If you, oh wait, you have no, yeah, never mind. No, I'm right. You would need Mirror to get up to Hera, and then the hammer would give you Paradox Cave. Just with the two items, I don't think it's worth it. It's out of logic and it's unlikely. And as we can see there, it's just the Moon Pearl is right there. I think coming straight into Hype Cave here, this may be an Randomizer play. Again, I think normally you may want to prioritize Thieves Town because you have the hammer, you've got the boots, you've got a Master Sword. It's going to be pretty easy for you to take care of. But you know, just having 5 hearts and you don't know what's going to be in there, I think it does make sense to attempt to put it off for a little bit and get some more of those overworld checks done first before starting to do your dungeon dives. And again, you may not even be able to kill the boss. So
proper routing here. Hype Cave always first.
in general or in this mode?
In general, I prefer it. I actually am stupid. I like to do Pyramid to Quakefish just to get it out of the way early.
Yeah,
it's fast 7 items, especially boots.
We were talking about the other one. Like I agree with you, but like I think if you have all those items, I don't know. I prefer Thieves Town into Hype Cave, and then you can make that up play if you want, and you have more information. You have a crystal done.
Yeah. So we get a Tempered Sword here, which is actually really big. So Tempered and Randomizer is like your best friends. Now most bosses, or I shouldn't say bosses, most enemies that you're gonna have to deal with is like the difficulty is just scaled way down. They have blue mail on top of it. It's actually going to be another comfy Randomizer seat, I would say.
Yeah, Temper takes care of most enemies in the game with one swing. The amount of enemies that actually get easier with Gold Sword versus Temper is like maybe like 1 or 2, and like a normal seat, it's not even any enemies you would run it.
What am I looking at right now, Doc?
I don't know. He's continuing to fight the helmet. He got the helmet out of his way, and then he decided to continue fencing it for a minute. We do get the bow. The bow is.
Alright.
I feel like the bow in Randomizer is even more annoying to find because it becomes. It's basically the ice rod. It's only locks. Literally locks only one location.
Yeah, in Randomizer it is taken away a little bit. And that one location that you mentioned is pod on the way to Helma. I still like to find, honestly. Just in case you
Oh,
run
yeah,
into an Armos, it will be a faster kill, anything like that. And Biddy.
Yeah, it's still a great thing to have. I think pod's a crystal, so we had to find it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely helps, even on just like a Vidi fight or something, just to be able to take care of that second phase relatively efficient.
I'm a big fan of Olive's route. Like, they got Lamp, they scored the bow on Pyramid. They might have been going to Quakefish, but they just like immediately bailed and said, "All right, see ya. One pod."
Yeah, especially since Eastern is a pendant, there's really no reason to try to put this off for the combo play into Eastern.
Right. The problem with playing pod to Eastern this early, and I'll add Eastern to it, is that by doing pod now, you price yourself into Eastern. You might not think you do, but it becomes a risky game if you kind of want to leave it early, or you kind of gave up an easy like Skullwoods to Thieves Town play into that, and then you would have had more knowledge. Hey, Eastern might be a play.
Yeah, well, you're only priced into Eastern if the mirror ends up being in here, because right now he can't get there. He'd have to walk back anyway, so you can do it whenever.
Well, then I certainly hope he has the mirror in here now, don't I?
just to make your commentary more sensible, you hope he finds the mirror to cover your ass. That's very good.
Yep.
Please find the mirror so I look like I know what I'm talking about. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think both of these plays, I think they're both defensible. It's going to be low health, fights either way. Emo does not have the Master Sword. She never made the escape play, so she's going to be a little under geared here. It also didn't make the Type Cave play, so it also does not have the temper. Normally, Fighter Sword in Thieves Town, you don't even really worry about. You can get through the dungeon just fine. Blind takes the set amount of damage from any sword. Of course, all of that goes away in Randomizer, so having the Fighter Sword in Thieves Town is a legit liability.
I don't like this. Emo, go to the boss. That's another classic Randomizer thing is go to the boss first, just to see if we can do it. Like, worst case, you just death warp out. But also could lead to an item. It could make your trip to Thieves like a lot faster, so you don't have to reclimb.
Yeah,
from like Blind Cell, for example.
Thieves Town in Randomizer, the boss becomes pretty decoupled from the actual dungeon. Like you said, you can just go straight to the boss. You can get the first 4, go straight to the boss. The only thing you're really losing is having to redo the first 4 if you want to come in. But really, the rest of the dungeon, normally you do crystal dungeons because it's like, oh, I need to go kill the boss, and there's, so many chests along the way. These chests are effectively not along the way. They're other chests vaguely associated with the dungeon at this point.
Right.
So you can definitely do, and then like you said, you can just make the decision afterwards, or whether or not you want to come in here and do the other chests. Especially with not having because you made this play as well, and we were talking about it. I think not having the fire. Well, Skullwoods is a pendant here, but like you could potentially come do this again with Skullwoods later, or maybe like the Smith sequence. So coming back to these locations later on, you've got time to do it. So I think I tend to agree with you. Just come kill this boss, see if he gets you anything, and then look at doing the other locations later if needed.
And we get Lamo on blind spot here, so that's good. You're gonna be a little careful. Lamo still will hurt, even with just because you can on hammer. But...
Wow. So the exact same item you found on the boss in your seed is in the same location.
Orange.
Look, I don't get me started. Do not get me started.
Hey, what's that meme catchphrase again? Isn't it like, give me a P, give me an R? Oh yeah, we see Ether being used by Scaryolive here. I like it. The the Lionels and everything like that. Quake would have been good too, just because it would turn them all into those onions when hit with the Temper Sword. Either way, it's fine.
Yeah, once especially it's a not kill room, just turning them into onions, you're fine.
So hookshot, kind of an item right now.
Yeah, it does.
I think the best thing it does right now, because we know where Lamp is it's going to put Death Mountain in logic. All of it for the East Death Mountain. Also leading into a Hera for crystals, so I think that would be Emo's natural route. I would be surprised if she took this to pod.
Yeah, I think the only counter argument to doing Death Mountain is you're really close to being able to do it all in one shot. I guess you don't really have Turtle. Oh, Turtle Rock's a yeah, you don't have Turtle Rock's a pendant, so if you can, if the mitts aren't on Death Mountain or aren't locked behind something on Death Mountain, you may be able to do Death Mountain all in one shot. One of the big time losses in Randomizer always is just making multiple trips up there.
Right.
So if you're that close, you maybe put it. I wouldn't put it off for too long because at some point, just there's so much stuff up there, you kind of have to do up there, and there is a crystal you gotta clear off. But I think put it off a little bit, see if you can score those mitts, and then go up there. But I'd put up the brakes on it just a little bit before making that play.
So I would just go right up.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd like to play that a little more aggressive.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying like start doing some bizarre checks, but like this hype cave.
No, I hear you.
Oh, son of a! I can't believe it's in there. I'm so mad. I'm so mad the mirror's in there. So, anyways, you're priced in.
Say the thing.
Palace now,
nope,
right?
nope.
I'm not
say the thing.
You weren't right.
Say it. Say it.
What? Say what?
You have 2 catchphrases to use. Pick one.
I have 2 catchphrases. I have catchphrases?
No, I have 2 catchphrases. Use one of them.
You have 2 catchphrases?
You can either thank me, or you can either say the vision, like really obnoxiously.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. I forgot about that one. You don't even have. You changed your emotes. You don't have that anymore.
Or will I?
Yeah. I actually haven't even heard you say the vision in a while, so I just completely forgot about it.
That's pretty much why it's not an emote anymore.
The meme is dead.
Mostly.
So
yeah,
okay,
Emo gonna go ahead and go to pod.
Did we see the boss from Scaryolive?
I don't think so.
I don't think. Why would he? I don't know why he would at least not check out the boss. That's
oh
weird.
No, they did it first and then went back in. That's what they did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was paying attention, chat. It's fine.
Yeah, sorry, we were. But I was saying, like, I think what Emo is doing is the correct thing. She's going to pick up the mirror here, like I said, putting off that Death Mountain play just a little bit, especially doing, getting closer to your goal by doing Crystal Dungeon. I think this makes sense. I probably agree with you that she's going to feel. I don't know if you're priced in. Like, I think Olive is definitely priced into Eastern with the items he has. With that hookshot, would you still feel priced in to doing Eastern right now?
It's a tough one. It's a play to skip.
Yeah.
Any way you slice it.
I think it's not. It doesn't take that long to get back to Eastern. I think the Death Mountain being so have so many items up there, you can find the mitts up there, and then again just do all of it in one shot.
So the way I look at it is, it's not so much it takes long to get there; it's how long you put off Eastern now, because in one way or another, both our racers are now going to have Death Mountain access, and that's the next play they're going to exercise. So if Eastern has anything good, like the worst case scenario would be Titan mitts. That's bad news bears. If say Emo decide not to do it.
Well, we can fortunately see both the streams, so we'll know what to be rooting for what her decision is going to be based on what we see. We will be 100% unbiased here. We will be
unbiased, we mean incredibly biased.
Yeah. We will be incredibly biased for what the routing we want her to do, but we will be incredibly biased on this execution that she's thrown. But yeah, it's one of the interesting things. They're both in pod at the same time. There was just a little minor routing difference before, which got Emo the hook shot. And you can definitely make the argument that it's correct for one of them to do Eastern and correct for the other one to skip it. They can vote. Well, that's okay. So she's priced into Eastern, and she should definitely do it. That is probably like I think that's worse than Mitts.
Yep. No,
Mitts
that's a bad spot.
That is a very bad spot. The thing with Mitts is going to block you off from a fairly large amount of stuff and kind of force you back there. Items that don't block off very much, especially it's only blocking off the one location that we need to do, which is the boss of Misery Mire. Preferably, we don't even have to go into Turtle Rock. If there is a progression item in Turtle Rock, then that cane is blocking more of the seed.
Yeah.
But that definitely could be the turning point of the seed right here.
I feel like with Emo not having bow and not getting to be able to complete pod, I think she's gonna go to Eastern. That's just
she
how
did
I
miss.
would kind of
She
think
did
of it.
miss out on bow. You're right. I didn't
So
even put that.
I'm worried at that point that it could be there. So she's looking for a lot of items right now, and I feel like you would go to Eastern here, but we'll see.
I think the counter argument to that is you don't have the bow. You have to come back here later. You just got the mirror, so put off Eastern until you have to come back with the bow.
We don't need the bow to beat Eastern anymore. Remember?
No. But I'm saying she has to come back to the pot with the bow.
Yeah.
She knows she's coming back here, saying, "Okay, when I get the bow, then I'll do Eastern."
I think
that's not necessarily the
out.
correct argument. That's just the argument.
No, I hear you.
Talk yourself into. But obviously, our completely unbiased commentary is going to be rooting for her to take this mirror and. All right. No, okay, she's so.
Well, she's equipping mirror. That tells me. Oh, she's gonna continue on through pod.
Yeah, she's doing this other side.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Right, because Randomizer, and you don't require the bow anymore. Alright, so the annoying thing, I guess, in Emo's case is that she currently doesn't have the bow. Consequently, Scaryolive doesn't have the hookshot. Hookshot's going to be a very easy find for Scaryolive. I mean, it's in Thieves Town. It's on a Lemol's boss that they'll be able to defeat quite easily. Emo either needs to find the other bow or route in Pyramid at some point. And I feel like it could be soonish just because they haven't done the front of escape, so there's definitely a better option for her to kind of go there.
Yeah, Pyramid, I don't know, I always have trouble trying to figure out when to do Pyramid. I have it solved for combo. I don't have it solved for vanilla.
And there it is. So Emo got bamboozled slightly. And the good news is though, she's mirroring, she's gonna go to Eastern and eventually get that Arcane, so that's good.
Wait, I missed what you got bamboozled by.
Think about the worst way you can get bamboozled in a pot without bow.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, but fortunately she is going into Eastern. Hard to say 100% if this is the correct play with that Death Mountain, although it turns out to be the right play, the seed. Getting that cane. Kane's not giving us anything right now, but it's I think the worst case scenario is because it's not giving you anything right now, there's something else out there, most probably Mitts, that's going to open up a lot. If she didn't find the cane right now, it'd be probably a pretty long time before she came back here. So she's gonna be happy to have it, happy to come down in here, but she knows that there's other things to go do. At this point, Mitts on Death Mountain seems kind of likely. Or like flippers or something to give you like Swamp Palace. We're one item away from Swamp Palace. Ooh, that's a fun.
It could be.
First time I played Randomizer, I kept trying to do the iframe strat on Vitreous, and I couldn't figure out why I was taking so much damage. Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I was like, oh, first I thought the goo came with. I thought the goo came with the boss. It was the.
Well, that's enough. Okay.
Just abandoning that for right now. That's interesting.
Was there both items sound? I feel like that's why, but
maybe.
Still.
Oh, well, I was about to say.
I guess you could just route it in when you're going to GT, right? But
yeah, if it was both items found, I was gonna say it's not gonna get any faster. But that's not entirely true. Hookshot will actually make it faster with the hero.
Yep, it'll make it faster, and you can always find silvers or gold source. So
yeah.
I get the reason.
Yeah, the problem is if you do decide to do the pre-GT routing, it's a non-insignificant time to do the two. I mean, if we're just talking about like minor things like the hook shot will make the Herapod faster, you're gonna lose most of that time by doing 2 mirrors. I think maybe probably the reasoning is mostly like it's not going to get that much faster at any point, or it's not going to be much slower at any point, and just to prevent, Vidi there is not the easiest thing to deal with, especially on that health level. Just come back later when you have more health, so you don't. If you just keep throwing yourself at the boss and you die again, that would definitely be very bad. So that could be the reason.
Emo learning that the desert worms are not affected by Quake, by the way. That's quite unfortunate, but she gets a key, and she's actually going into the eastern boss, which of course kind of highlights that we do not need the bow to get through here anymore. We found a bombos on Scaryolive's side so far in the 7 chest cave. That's right, it's not Paradox Cave, it's 7 chest cave.
Oh, this is a this is a hell of a double ready room.
Yeah, that's a flipper. This is where Ether actually would just like clean up, by the way.
Yeah.
This would get rid of annoying enemies, such as the what's it called? The Baris.
Yeah, I think using Ether there probably would have been. All right, let's see if we can kill the boss. Yep. Moth not in Moss Room is the biggest joke. I think Emo was trying to open up with a double hit there. You actually don't want to do that with the Master Sword. You just want to just go straight into spins.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you just get an extra hit anyway.
You just get an extra hit, which is equivalent to a spin.
Yep.
The thing is, Moth doesn't take a spin from the Temper Sword is actually the same as a spin, but it's not true for the Master Sword. So you might as well just start spinning, and especially if Moth is in their actual room. Spins can help you damage them while they're on the spikes, which obviously isn't a concern there, but...
Alright, Scaryolive actually going back into Hera now. So now it's kind of it's an odd one, but I can understand why they want to get rid of it. And there could be another item here anyways.
Yeah, I think if you're coming back
I honestly can't recall.
There's got to be an item here if he's coming back in. If not, you can just put this off the GT at this point.
Because it's like you go across the bridge and everything like that to go back up. No, I feel like there's a second item here.
Yeah, there has to. Because I mean, I was talking about differences of like seconds, and just walking back over here is like a good 10-12 seconds. So.
Alright, Emo going up. It's gonna suck for her because she's gonna have Master Sword Vidi, but Vidi really isn't that. I don't want to say challenging. I want to say it's not as rough in Hera, just because again you're not gonna deal with the slime. You can't use normal tech like you talked about with the slime on the floor, so you take less damage.
Yeah. Even if the slime came with the boss, you'd be
this is a strategy right here, folks. You know what? Wow.
Does this?
Is this race legal?
I don't know. Does this really?
This is. You know what? This is actually really smart because the eyeballs will follow you regardless of where you are on the map, and you're seeing it. That they literally have unlimited trace. So now you're like really pathing it, and you can really tell a path where it's going. So I kind of like it. If you want to play it safe, it's a good smart play.
Yeah, it also avoids you having to deal with the lightning phases whatsoever. Yeah, it's really funny that the you know, the goo was put there to make the boss harder, but us being the creative oh, that light. Oh yeah, I was saying the you know, the goo, the developers put the goo there. It's like, this will make the boss harder, and it makes the boss 10,000 times easier because we learned how to abuse the heck out of it.
Yeah, good for everyone involved. Lightning only does 2 hearts worth of damage, so.
So okay, I'm shocked that Vidi did not have an item and he decided to turn around and come get that. That's surprising.
Is it 50-50 between basement though? Because if basement has a second item, then yeah.
That's true. That's true. I don't know what's
I
on the
guess
basement.
we'll find out. Like, yeah, if Compass is here, I can see that happening.
Yeah, there's something in the basement. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, he didn't know where. Of course, you still want to prioritize the boss before coming down here and doing this.
Mhm. Yeah, I would have been surprised, knowing that there's still an item in here too. I would be. It's just a big risk, right? Because your opponent could always. Oh, that's a setup. Oh, that is a Haripod setup. I've never seen that setup before. No?
Yeah, we were frowny face about your set.
This is secret tech on my own team. Are you kidding me right now?
You're the one who plays Randomizer. We thought you were the one who knew the secret tech.
I haven't touched my console since Sunday, dude.
Oh, since Sunday. I didn't realize Haripot came out on Friday. Yeah, no, it's
like, oh yeah, you're a randomizer player. You must play like 3 or 4 scenes a day.
That setup is actually, if you just approach it from left to right, it's really good because you can do 1-frame buffers going to the right, so it makes it easier to set up. It's so good. I do it with boots. I don't have 2 setups anymore. I just do the one for both. And then you just do the standard setup.
Don't die.
Set up the Y pixel on the peg. Yeah, she's fine.
No, I was talking about Scaryolive.
Oh. Well, he can die.
I was gonna say, you're like, I don't care about that guy. Bomb sucks. It's unfortunate. Emo actually having a pretty good fight with Master Sword, honestly.
Yeah, I think her fight is going to be quicker than Scary's.
Yeah, it will be. Abusing the spins. You have a lot of hits going on to those eyeballs. You're not waiting for them to travel, so.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. Yeah, I guess. It's just scary being. Yeah. Please don't fall. I think I would just stick with the spins.
That's like the worst thing, the worst enemy right now.
Yeah, like the thing with Moldorm here, like everyone hates falling. It just feels so bad. He lose all the time. Moldorm is not a very long fight overall, even if it was just a fighter sword fight. So if you get like 3 or 4 hits in and you fall, yeah, it feels bad. But it's not devastating. If you like fell on that like a Master Sword video fight like that, that is a huge chunk of time. That is potentially like, that's 30-40 seconds. Like we see matches determined by less than that all the time. That could be the game right there.
Man, I was gonna be. I would have had a good laugh if that hobo had something, because that's where Emo Hardlocked was on the way to hobo. So, but yeah, we just get a buck net.
Bugnet, I know is Emo's favorite item though, so she will be very upset not getting.
I'm gonna clip that and send it to her afterwards.
You should, and everyone in chat, you should come into her channel, which you should follow both these runners, by the way, and you should ask her why her Bugnet isn't trapped.
I agree, potion. I like the green potions here actually. Randomizer specifically, it's always good to have an extra reservoir of magic, because you never know when surprise cold steer will happen. So,
yeah, cold steer can be really bad. We do all does already have bombas already. It makes the magic requirement for cold steer much more manageable. The problem is like again in Randomizer, like normally you just like, okay, I know I'm gonna use magic here and here. I need to get these refills. I don't have enough magic for cold steer. The problem is like cold steer could be anywhere, and like like we were saying before, you sometimes just use medallions in dungeons to clear out some of those rooms. So yeah, if you get a cold steer in a bad location and you don't have the magic, it can be a bad time.
Right.
I'm normally I'm not. I've never thrown a bottle into that freaking well. I just think it's a silly time loss. But in Enemizer, it definitely makes a lot more sense. Again, just have potions, like anything you just normally consider a safety, can be pretty.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume Olive's on the way to the good old Skullwood Thieves Town combo. It's a pretty late Thieves, honestly. 44 minutes. I always call this risky when it's this late. It's more or less what accepted meta, I would call it. That you would go the west side first and then go to the east.
Yeah, I think.
And I always feel like Thieves, if you put it off, it's always a risk.
I feel like it's less risky in Enemizer because again, like you were a proponent of just doing the straight to blind strat. So and then you can just do the rest whenever. So there's less items you're likely to find. So it's probably not too bad. But it's one of those things that Thieves isn't when you benefit from go moding. Like I'm kind of the opinion that like once a dungeon's like 90% as fast as it's ever going to be, just go ahead and do it. And again, they had their early boots. Olive's got swords coming out of his eyes, so nothing's really going to get much faster at any point.
All right, we get a nice safety here for Emo in the cape. Cape's a very versatile item in Randomizer. I kind of prefer Blue Cane just because then you can do Blue Cane strats, dash strats with the boots just to kind of get through the seed. But Cape's a nice second place there. Just get you through the really hard rooms.
Yeah, Blue Cane does lag a bunch, but does use slightly less magic. Kind of, an Enemizer, generally less just saving lag, doing like really tiny things. That's something you'd be more considered when like a standard because you know what's happening. Enemizer is just so much more of just survive. Like lag frames really aren't going to be the thing that's going to be killing you. Not that they would kill you normally, but I'm going to pretend they do because it makes me feel better about myself. As I lose by 5 minutes. But I saved all the lag frames. How could this be? So it looks like wow, this is the first time Emo's doing the dam. That's
No, I think she did it.
Right. Took the death warp. You're right. But yeah,
the intentional death warp, chat. Very intentional. New tech. She got hard.
Yeah, I mean, I right now I can't necessarily say any. There's really no one is ahead. I think Scary has probably been doing things slightly more efficiently, but we don't really know where some of these big progression items are still. So it's just really going to come down to who finds them first. And Swamp is definitely a location that some big item can be hiding out in.
I think I would have favored Olive ahead until the death at 50. I think Emo climbed back a lot of time on that hard lock.
Yeah, they both have like kind of
only real.
Sorry.
That's okay. I was gonna say the only real advantage at that point is the bow and that tempered sword. Tempered sword and bow are going to be found together. I would imagine Emo's route, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. She might dodge tempered. If she's putting off escape for this long, she just may not choose to go back there. We know there's nothing. The game's never going to force her to do it because we know there's not progression in there.
Right.
So she may be hard dodging escape at this point.
Yeah. I think the bigger problem is you're probably going to see a tight mix here in Swamp. There's just so much that we've already done. And we're getting down to like the nitty gritty. I think only Quakefish and maybe Graveyard King's Tomb remain that I haven't really seen overworld of. So
yeah, King's Tomb is really annoying to pull without the mitts. It's gonna get really easily isolated. Although she hasn't done Graveyard Ledge, so it's at least 2 items to go up there. So it's not completely isolated. It really only gets isolated if like you have the mirror, you do Graveyard Ledge, but you didn't have the boots, and then you get the boots. That's when it gets hard isolated.
Yeah. I would just be surprised if you either didn't find anything here, and if you did, it was Fire Rod in place of that. I'd be shocked actually, because it would be like super linear at that point.
Yeah, I didn't even see what was on. It couldn't have been anything because all was just. Well, he doesn't have the key. He couldn't get it. His rupees. Okay. The sprite looked weird to me. I couldn't really identify. Well, apparently everyone else knows what it is. I just can't see. So yeah, I think I like where Emo's at right now. I think the only point I'm gonna get a little concerned is if the other bow is not out in the world somewhere. And then it just depends on how long it takes for her to actually get to Pyramid. What are our... I haven't even seen what our 5-6 crystals are. It looks like it's Ice Palace and... is it Pod? Can't even tell. Yeah, Pod. Ice Palace and Pod. So maybe if mitts are in here, then you can do Ice Palace, then you can check Pyramid Fairy, and then you can get the bow. That bow probably won't be put off for too long, just as long as we can find...
You know, I've done over 500 races, and I've never thought to hook push that.
Oh, that... No, actually, we were talking about the... Trinex is actually the first one that we saw do it. And that
just blew my mind.
Yeah, no, it's...
I was like, you would do that? Wow.
So I'm still not even 100% sure. I think it's faster because you do the...
It has to be, yeah.
You're skipping one push.
Yep.
And you have to go to hookshot, so it's not like you're wasting a menu.
No, that looked faster. It's not like it's really not that much time, but I was like, I've never thought of that.
Yeah, no, it was Trinex was the first one I saw do it, and then I know she's become a fan of doing it. She said even if it's not faster, she's gonna do it.
You know, all those.
So we're gonna get to see something we didn't get to see in the previous match. And okay, hopefully this Annie... Okay, she's gonna take care of this Annie Fairy.
Oh, meme tech. You want to explain this one?
Yeah. So this is a relatively new glitch, actually found by our namesake, Yuzahara. Basically, so this is commonly called Diver Down. Basically, we're just abusing the Samaria block to kind of force us up here. I think I'm learning some new stuff about it right now. Okay, never mind. We're fine.
Why you do this?
Basically, so you're basically jumping.
I was gonna say, please.
Yeah, use the Samara block to jump down. You force yourself through the rail, you can jump down. In the vanilla game, it's actually considered a major glitch, but the rando has decided to allow it. It's just a time save here. It's about a 6-second time save.
That's bailout right there.
Yeah, that is the bailout. So it is a nice little piece of tech. You skip pushing the statue, you skip the cutscene, so it is faster to do it this way. It doesn't really. This one doesn't really. It doesn't like allow you to skip an item or anything, so it's not really useful for like routing or like skipping an item. It's just straight up faster. So it's I don't know. I think it's kind of cool that it got allowed. Randomizer has.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Randomizer, for a while, it was kind of tracking with like the NMG rule set, and over like the last little over a year, things that have been disallowed in NMG have started to be allowed into Randomizer, and we'll avoid getting into any personal opinions on that, but that's just kind of the way it's been.
That just looked very not worth the time.
Well, so it was not worth the time. No, it's still you're skipping the statue push takes a long time. The
right. No, I get that. I mean, in an Randomizer seed though,
that was, and Trinex was trying to actually, because you can do it to skip you can flood the key on purpose and do another diver down up into left side. The problem is you had the big spike there, so he couldn't get by it.
Oh baby, surprise cold stare.
Yeah, in Randomizer, you're probably right. It may not be worth it because you don't know what's going to be there. I thought Helpa was in the speed gaming chats.
Oh, Helpa store? Nah.
Yeah.
That might be like a limited time offer thing, like the McRib.
I thought it used to be for Randomizer.
Don't panic. Thank you.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
She's fun. Just half magic. You got like cape for days, basically. Oh, that's swamp. Cool item. Found the bow.
Yeah, so it's not gonna
Emo
matter.
is probably. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't matter if she dodges pyramid now. That's just gonna be Silver's. Potentially could dodge it for the rest of the seed, depending on where these mitts are, because pyramid fairy is locked behind the mitts with that ice palace. So I can't even necessarily say she's probably gonna get it. Although
Nah, she's gonna get it. She's going.
no, she might just be going straight to pod right here, actually.
I'd be surprised if she didn't do pyramid on the way to pod.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But if I'm in her shoes and I get a bow from swamp, I'm gonna be like, that's it, because now it only unlocks Helmasaur at that point.
I'm just waiting.
And we know what we know is that it doesn't really unlock anything at all. So I'm kind of curious to see what the next place.
I just know. I can hear what she's gonna say when she just sees this post and go, well,
What?
okay.
Hello?
I was just here the entire time. Everything
No,
I did
it's-
was pointless.
I was kind of perplexed why she wanted to do the extra lap up the pyramid. That was a qu'est-ce que c'est?
Yeah, I don't know. Checking out the left side there for some reason.
Yeah. I wonder if it's fast cannon.
Oh,
You
she
can
is gonna
clip
be
that
getting
one.
her-
You can clip that one.
Let's clip that.
We're 1-for-1 now.
She's gonna be so mad at both of us.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's gonna be picking up her temper sword here. Not gonna be. So, where are these mitts?
It's gonna be. Wait, we saw King's Tomb and Spike Cave.
Yeah. Did we see Spike Cave?
No,
Could be Spike Cave.
or Powder. Powder is the other option that Emo has the powder from in Swamp. So we're looking at Powder and we're looking at Spike Cave. I want to call it. Those are the last two locations we have not seen yet.
Yeah, and I think. Oh, did we find 2 items in desert?
No, we have
them,
not seen Lamo yet either. I just noticed the lamp as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that could be a third item.
And we don't actually need. Well, we don't know if we need the fire rod for go mode. So, I mean, you could pretend. So there could be a Trinex on one of these few remaining. I think Misery Mire can have a Trinex, right? And can Desert have a Trinex in it?
Yes, Desert, Mire, and GT Climb can all have Trinexes. So.
And yeah, so we can definitely run into a Trinex. So if you find the mitts here, do you treat yourself as in go mode? Like,
Yeah, I would until I ran into a Trinex. Like you're gonna check items in path.
Yeah.
What do you have left at this point? You have Desert, where it's the boss has the item. You have Misery Mire and Ice.
Yeah,
I'd probably go. I don't know. I would probably go Mire Desert first, and then finish on Ice.
Yeah, I think
Go from there.
I think Mire. If I was doing this, and we get the mitts, I think Mire. I would. If I don't get a big key in the first 2 chests, I would probably just end up full clearing it. But if I do get a big chest where I could God mode Mire, I think I would take the gamble at that point and try to go straight to the Ice. Yeah, Ice Power. I think. Well, I definitely start with right. Do the mirror. Start with Desert. See what's there. If you see a Trinex or you see the fire rod, then you don't have to worry about it anymore. But it's definitely some of the more interesting go modable dungeons that are left. So if that is the situation, it'll be interesting to see what these guys do. Well, it's not Zora.
No, we saw Zora from Hollow Side earlier.
Oh, right, right.
Where would I want to go? I feel like I feel like pod is just the answer.
I mean, we still have bomb. Oh no, they took bombos.
I mean, in Emo, aka Method Thoughts side, I imagine she'll go to pod next. Scary's obviously going to the swamp.
Yeah, I mean,
we're
just
a given with the hook shot.
Running out of places where these myths could. I mean, we know it's not pod. I mean, I think it probably correct that you just go to pod right here. I mean, you don't have the flute. It's kind of a pain to get to, but I don't know. This is such a long trip.
It is. It's kind of a wash. Which one's faster? So if you're in Dark World, you might as well just stick with it. But yeah, no, it's Spike Cave, Powder, or Lamo. Lamo, I cannot remember if it has the third or the second item or not. I feel like it does.
Maybe we didn't see. Oh no, Olive did King's Tomb.
Yeah, Graveyard and King's Tomb were both checked already.
Oh, and I'm dumb. We're not a we're not a myth away. We need flute, so we're missing 2.
$126, by the way.
126.
Man, what's your SM time at right now, anyways? Alright, well, Emo is going ahead to check out Buffer Cave. Scaryolive going to check out Left Side Swamp.
Oh, is
Diver down?
Yeah, he's doing. This is what I was talking about. You can do the diver down on this side too. Although, okay, I'm not sure what the plan is here. Oh, can you do it with a bomb? Yeah, you can do it with a bomb. But he's got the cane. Why bother doing it with the bomb? All right, well. I didn't know that bomb setup existed. Yeah, this is what Trinex was trying to do in the previous seed. Unfortunately, there was a big old spike right there, so it made it quite not boom.
That looked like it just wasted a whole bunch of time. Also, everyone blamed Duck because he came up with the name.
I didn't come up with that name. I named Kiki. That's a much better name. Also, something you can't do in this. I mean, you can. You absolutely shouldn't, because you'll get disqualified.
Blame Duck.
Hashtag blame Duck.
So I was asking you earlier, but I just had to take a quick break. What's your SM time at right now, anyways?
It's 47:32.
How are you so good at this game, dude?
I'm not. When is 47 good?
I'll never understand Dragon.
Dragon is impossible.
Literally,
you know
2
the
minutes
siege,
lost every race.
You know the siege dried up when we start talking about an unrelated game. You know how
we've all seen the
so
items.
Good? is that when I explained to you how to do rooms at a GDQ, you only listened to about half of it, and then just made up the other half. I'm like, okay.
My favorite part was telling Cutie, who's 4th place right now, hey, I'm not gonna do the strat you do because I like being like, what was it, 0.20 seconds longer? I loved his response. Like, man, you do you, man.
That's the only way to deal with you.
That's pretty much trying to teach me speed tech in a nutshell.
Well, it's not Magic Bat. Does it have to be Skype Game at this point? Like, I'm racking my brain. Like, what we haven't even seen from either of these runners. I think Emo is going to do pod, which makes sense from her perspective. You gotta knock it off. I think she was maybe waiting to see a where do we go?
Going to pod.
Going to pod?
Going to pod. Yep, just detour.
Oh, we're just crossing off Hobo real quick. Why not just jump off of the fortune?
She probably forgot.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe she got halfway there and was just like, oh, I'll just go ahead and do this.
Pod moved its entrance now.
One thing I forgot
Surprise entrance.
When Trinox was having some of his pod adventures, he kept running to pod even though he had the flute. And I forgot to ask him about it because I was so confused.
Just 99% of the time, they forgot.
Yeah, we're like, did he not activate? But he had been up to the seed forced you go to Death Mountain. Like, no, he definitely activated it. He has all the stuff that was locked behind it.
Just want to get a workout in, man. Just want to dash.
Yeah, I mean, we watched a lot of walking before these races started, so I think we're all glad to see a little bit of running. Running was officially invented in 1993, so.
Shoutouts to potions. They're a great safety chat. Emo going to pod. I like the play. Kind of connect the dots rando here. She got her bow in pyramid and saw the other, or she got the first bow in swamps, right? And then saw the other bow in pyramids. So
yeah, I think she put this off as long as, you know, I'm trying to find the flute so you can come back here a little quicker. I think she put this off as long as reasonable. She's down between this and just a bunch of other bad items. Since this is 100% required, just go ahead and do this. We know it's not the answer, but it definitely makes sense to come here and just cross.
I think all of on the other side of the coin now that they're done swamp, probably just routes in desert from where they're at. Finish that off.
Yeah, I think I'm actually surprised.
Nope, never mind.
Neither of them have gone back to desert. Do we know for a fact Lamo has an item? I know we saw mail, right? And I don't think there was another item.
I feel like if they're both putting it off this long, then no, they won't be.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
there's no. That's what it is. It's the good old ice rod check.
Yeah, that's right. Olive did put this off before. Yeah, this is one of those things with like putting off some of these locations to late. Especially if you're going like, oh, I'll just do it with flute or something like that. You know, sometimes the seed just doesn't give it to you, and it just becomes like nightmarish.
Yeah. No, I I thought for a second when they're menuing towards Bombos, is like they're not thinking ice, are they? But then yeah, it's like ice rod.
Yeah. So at this point, I think Olive definitely has a lead just because he's already gotten this pod check done, and they're down to, yeah, it looks like he's doing Spike Gate, which kind of has to be it, right? I don't think. So like the seed just dried up. They're both just hundoing this. Olive's gonna have, looks like a couple minute lead at this point. If it's not here, I'm gonna be confused. I mean, I suppose it could be Fire Rod here, and then it'd be like Skull Woods or something, but
could be like Mushroom or Fire Rod, yeah. But it's gonna be Titans.
It's either Titan's Mist
or
there's no way. Yeah, a bit of progression that leads to like one other check, like a glorified fetch quest. I mean, even Flute doesn't get us anything until we have the Titan's Mist. I mean, and Flute or. Yeah, Flute's almost certainly has to be behind Titan. Yep. Okay. So that makes sense. So yeah, Olive definitely has he's basically got the lead of how long it takes to go up there and get it, which is probably it's a little over like a minute and a half, maybe something like that. So I mean, nothing that's impossible to overcome. But at this point, we've hundoed everything up to this point in the seed. It's gonna be relatively straightforward at this point. I feel like.
So now, yeah, Schrodinger's go mode. We don't know if we need a fire route or not. For either right side GT, which they can break.
Definitely need the flute. Definitely need the flute still.
Schrodinger's go mode. Don't worry, they'll find it nice. Don't make me use my powers again.
Yeah. So Ice Palace, we're probably going to be seeing another glitch here. Similar to found the same time as Diver Down. It actually completely, at least in my opinion, changes the meta around Ice Palace. Ice Palace used to be a dungeon you really wanted to just be able to go mode.
Thank God I didn't have to use this in the race, because boy chat, let me tell you how much I can't do Icebreaker.
Just 2 1-frame inputs.
You showed me the video, and I tried doing the video, and it was no good.
Yeah, so it's basically you're just doing a couple 1-frame input. What you're doing is you're extending the door state. I'm explaining before we're going to see it, but I'm assuming we're going to. So it's the same thing. You're using the Cane of Samaria to get through there. It makes the routing in Ice Palace so much nicer. The only thing you have to worry about is the switch. You're no longer doing the whole Ice Palace bomb jump, so you have to deal with either the switch, or you have to go grab an extra key at some point to be able to get to Cold Stair normally. But because you come in and you go right to where the vanilla big key is, you can just kind of do the whole thing like kind of backwards, and it really makes the routing a lot better. It makes not go moding ice much less of a big deal. But it takes it only saves like 6 seconds or like 10 seconds in the vanilla speed. Oh, okay, we're not going to see it. Never mind. But
Alright,
in
well,
Rando, because of the full clearing, I think it saves like a minute almost. I think.
Dude, it's like you're trying to teach nuclear fission to a random bumpkin right now in me. Okay, like it's just I hear the words. But
oh, they're hitting.
It's
yeah. Sorry, they're hitting the switch.
Now you can explain it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't actually think if you're going to full clear, because what's going to end up happening. Well, I'll let him do the glitch right here first. It's an interesting. Yeah, so
I've seen this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this before too.
Yeah, normally you need to be like 1 pixel off the wall, and then you need to turn around and then place a Samaria block down.
They allowed that? I'm just kidding, guys.
But yeah, when we see here the routing is a lot better. I think if you're going to not go mode this, like you're going to collect everything, I don't think hitting that switch is worth it, because you can pick up you're going to get the big key, and then to the room 1 to the right of like where you would normally fall down, there's a key in that room that you can just snag that if you need an extra one. If you are going to go mode it, you absolutely have to hit that switch, because you have no idea where the big key is. You're not going to go looking for it. But I think if you're full clearing it, I think it's better to skip hitting that switch. But I mean, I like it being. I mean, we can quibble about like whether ostensibly major glitches should be allowed in rando, but I like it being in because I think it makes the dungeon a little bit more interesting. Especially with some of the decisions you have to make, it makes it a lot easier. It changes the meta around it. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. It does make it easier. It does do that. But like now it's not so much like, oh, I want to put off ice to go mode. Finding the cane now makes it a lot faster. So it has a lot of like meta implications. As opposed to like Diver Down, which is just like that's 6 seconds. Congratulations! Like it makes it a little bit faster, but it doesn't really change the meta necessarily. I really hate you. I hate you so much.
I was gonna say I'm never doing it. By the way, it's nice flute, huh?
Yeah. Now we're in Schrodinger's go mode or whatever. If we don't run into a Cold Stair, Scaryolive will be able to finish the seed off. Unfortunately, Emo. Yeah, don't know about this
Well,
play where she's going to Smiths
I mean,
first. I think Ice probably was the better thing to do, especially with the cane is normally again you want to like, okay, I want to put off Ice Palace, but with she 100% knows how to do Icebreaker. I think having the cane, I think you really want to prioritize Ice Palace at this point.
I mean, Fire Rods is gonna be in Hookshot Cave anyways, probably. But yeah,
If
no,
it's there, I quit.
I get what she's doing. It's just unfortunate that Flute was in Ice. Kind of sucks.
I think this is 3 days ago. I think this is more of a defensible decision. I think with the Cane of Samaria and with Icebreaker being allowed, I think Ice Palace makes a lot more sense.
Oh no, Emo. No, go back. Get the chest. How could you leave it there?
I'm sure everything will work out fine.
Are you sure though, Duck? I can't believe she did this.
I'm not sure because she can mess it up. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, no, it's fine.
Alright, well, Nemo's showing off some more hot new tech. And he basically, I can't remember what they call this, but
I don't know.
Yeah, you basically just mirror the thief, and surprise purple chest.
Yeah, this one I think has actually been known for some reason. I don't think people ever put like 2 and 2 together of like, oh yeah, it's useful like this. But like that one's been around for a while, I believe. It kind of got brought back into everyone's general consciousness relatively recently. It was like a couple months ago, like 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah, and I think this over Ice. I mean, as much as I didn't like Smiths, I definitely don't like this at this point. Imagine naming your team after Yuzahara and not immediately doing a trick that Yuzahara found. So at this point, really, Emo's only hope is there's a Trinex in one of these last 2 bosses. And I don't know, the Fire Rod is on Death Mountain. If that's the case, then honestly, Emo becomes in the lead real quick. I do like checking the Mire chest there. You can have a Trinex show up. 2 quick checks, get him out of the way. Fire Rod could just be hanging out right. So for those of you rooting for a good race or for some reason biased against Emo here, you definitely want to be rooting for Scary to run into a Trinex right around. There are 2 out there somewhere. Well, potentially 2. There's at least 1 out there. Well, there's our second Moldorm with the seed. I do, now that Emo's come out there, I do agree with that Toro Rock play. Turtle Rock's gonna kind of kick you out real quick without the Fire Rod. It can let you all the way to Laser Bridge, but I think it makes sense to dip it right there. I can quibble with going up there in general, but once you're up there, I believe going into Turtle Rock makes sense. I don't know. I just don't like her hard dodging Ice Palace this long. It's very questionable to me. So yeah, basically, again, the only thing really left in this seed to determine the winner is if there is a. Well, I get, you know, I'm not even thinking. Trinex could be hanging out on one of the two bosses upstairs in GT, or potentially be blocking the big key in GT. So even if Trinex isn't here, it's possible Scary gets to GT and then gets kicked out. But Emo's kind of done all the other checks where Fire Rod could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Fire Rod is Fire Rod actually even hard required for upstairs GT? I know it's required for right side, but I don't think it's hard required for torches too, right?
It's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, there could be Fire Rod the seeds. It's a tough sell right now for Emo to come back, just because again she's now gonna get her flute. She's done everything else in the world to kind of go through, and she still has to go through Desert Mire now.
Yeah, it's just if Fire Rod if Trinex is in our way at some point, which at this point it's just looking like it's probably not the case.
Even if it is, it's gonna be like Mire or Fat Fairy.
Yeah, well, just
you know, Scaryolive doesn't know that, but
yeah, there's just not a lot of places where that Fire Rod could be that would actually work in Emo's favor. I mean, I think the most contrived example we can come up with is like there's a Trinex and it's Fat Fairy, because then yeah, I mean, it also just depends on how soon Olive would go to Pyramid Fairy. It might actually prioritize that over doing like Smiths or Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, the better chance would be if it was in GT, just because then there's so many different options, whereas Emos are limited. But again, I think we're kind of reaching.
We're stretching. It's Olive is definitely in command of this seat.
Dude, you're stretching this like more the third grader with a G-string, okay? Like
what the hell kind of reference is that? First
of
all, you clearly just eat cheese.
You're a monster. No, you're a monster. You don't peel it. What? Who does that?
No, you just bite down on the thing. Like,
oh my.
It's not like peeling it makes it taste better.
I'm leaving the team. You guys have your one sub. I'm done. I just don't know you anymore.
Haven't you seen my avatar? You know how I just like housing foods.
I put up with all those Twitter memes between you and Cutie, but like this is unacceptable.
This was a Twitter meme for Cutie. Honest, I'm just repeating it now.
This is the worst timeline. Help me, chat.
My main question is, when does Mire Bomb Jump become meta and random?
Never.
It's so easy though. I'm 100 during that co-op race or the spoiler log race. I'm 100% pulling it out, even if it doesn't matter.
You would.
Gotta make chat go wild.
Why is there a Kuko in Ice Palace? I just noticed that.
I'm sitting here trying to think of a chicken/ice-based pun, and I'm coming up. Emo, what are you doing? Okay. that bomb jump she did is 100% free. You just plant your face into the wall, place the bomb, and you jump over. I don't know why she was trying to like line it up precisely.
You know, I know it's a chicken, but you could have just used probably cold turkey, and I would have given you a pass. But it's way too late now.
Oh yeah. Blind in probably one of the bosses you definitely want to see in Viddy's room.
Yeah, I hate that. Pretty much becomes Space Invaders, or you can just use cape and make the fight free
with half magic.
Yeah. So this is full boss shuffle, so we could see duplicates. I don't believe we've seen any yet.
Yeah, we saw Moldorm. There's been 2 Moldorms.
There's been 2 Moldorms, so Moldorms are out then.
So the ones we haven't seen, we've seen Coldstare, we've seen Viddy, we haven't seen Trinex, we haven't seen an Armos. I think that's it.
So still a 1 in 9 chance for Trinex to be up there. I think at this point it's not really too pertinent. Like you're gonna find them up there, and then you're gonna full clear GT looking for it.
The thing is, even if Trinex is up there, it's likely that Fire Rod is also up there.
That's my point, right?
Yeah. Again, the contrived scenario is Trinex is in the way, either blocking the big key with Ice Armos or in Lamo 2, because Trinex can't be on Moldorm 2, I don't think, right?
So chat's getting a lot of numbers in the chat here. I think they're guessing how many times you're going to throw in your next match, but I'm not.
Hey, excuse me. The next match I'm playing is the pilot. So if I throw, it's because you're telling me to go to the wrong spots.
I think 20 is a strong number right now. I see a 50. That's probably more accurate.
50 is probably more accurate. Hey man, I would have gone to Ice Palace. Is all I'm saying.
That'd be great though if I pilot you, and then I'm just like, "Hey, Duck, go to Aqueduct."
Okay.
You like go for the warp.
Just load up a different ROM.
Yep.
This is a smart play by all dipping in here real quick.
Yep.
Again, Trinex could be in the way. We know Fire Rod's not here. But you definitely don't want to get halfway through GT, realize, oh, I don't have the Fire Rod, and it would be a super bad feel for just being Oakshot Cave. So this is a nice defensive play by Olive.
I like it too, because then, like, if you, again,
like
say you run into a Trinex in GT, it's very unlikely at this point, but it could happen. Now you just eliminate this option, because if you go through GT, the first thing you're going to come back to is this, because it's right outside the door. So just get out of the way while you're here. Just in case. It doesn't cost that much time.
Yeah, the issue is Emo is going to be doing that. Even if we do have a Trinex, and it's not, so it's, I think Pyramid Fair again is the only place it could possibly be. Emo's going to be following these same steps. She's going to be coming up here. She's going to be doing half of GT. So not only does that contrived scenario have to be, Olive will need to do other stuff before doing Pyramid Fairy. If he just turns around as Pyramid Fairy first, this is definitely still his seat. That being said, like Olive was still first to the mitts, so it's not like it was just kind of just random luck that got him here. Both had some bad luck in the seed, some deaths and other things. It's just the gap widened up a good bit because of all the additional checks that Emo did with those. But I mean, up until the mitts, it was like it was a very close race, and like it wasn't even possible to say like who was in the lead for a long time because it was just coming down to where the mitts were, and they just both ended up last location. Although that being said, like Olive can't even be feeling like because he did last location, then like he can't be feeling that great about where he is.
What are those monsters called again?
The little black guys that come out of the walls.
I call them the Shadow Lizards.
Shadow Lizards.
I actually saw the name.
Like,
I was like,
oh,
like that's
Zor
what they're called.
No, Zoros are like there's one called Zoro. It's the other like ones that come out of like doors are called like Zoros or something, I think. I only know that because I had to look it up for a tutorial. I was like, what the hell are those things called?
Ah, that's it. The Baboos too. That's what they're at. Shadow Lizards is a much better name, by the way.
I mean, horse heads are like Zyzax or something like that.
Zazak is a much better name too. But yeah, that's.
I just like how there's Gibbos and Gibdos. It's very confusing, and they have nothing to do. Like one's a mummy and one's a little Patrick Star thing.
Yep. Did you know that they're called Gadongos and not Dodongos?
Yes.
And wow, just blew my mind.
And I don't even really play Ocarina of Time, so I don't even think about Dodongos. Not since I was like 15. Which I'm really dating myself with that comment.
It's about 45 years ago.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay.
I was gonna say a lot of the rooms in GT become a lot easier. Like these mimic rooms are just usually nightmarish normally. Olive having a little trouble with these red berries, just electrocuting on him. Oh, and Emo almost got grabbed by a wall master. No, there's a lot of hot action going on both screens right now.
What is even going on right now?
I don't. There's a lot of lag going on. Is what's going on? Oh. I don't know why.
That's a lot of ghost ad action there. Like you cannot even see half those guards. They're just kind of like there.
I don't know why guards are like the one thing that just brings this game to its knee.
Probably just a lot of textures going on, right?
Yeah,
Similar to Super Metroid and the Key Hunters, just because they have so many moving parts. They're obnoxious.
Yeah, that's why you don't see a lot of them on the screen at the same time normally. Oh. Alright. Ooh, a little close on all of them. There's nothing so bad as getting a fairy drop you so desperately need, and then the fairy just hanging out like 2 inches like beyond.
It's like in the wall, and then you try
Yeah.
boomeranging or hookshotting it. And it's just
You're just like, let me
get
just
in
I'll,
here.
just I'll just grab this real quick.
Now, are they manipulative? Like, can you kind of... Are they coded to kind of avoid you, or...?
I don't think so. I think they're completely random. They do. They do have.
It feels like they are.
They do have some like pre-programmed movements. Like if you're just doing like Skullwoods, like an NMG, and you get the fairy from the bush, like there's like one or it can either just like float off to the top right or go, or it'll like float in the exact way that if you're relatively fast, you'll almost, if it comes to the left at all, you're 100% going to run into it and pick it up, which is actually annoying because you don't want the fairy in that segment because you don't want beams, because beams on Moth are terrible. All right, so I'm pretty sur yeah, that ends that. All is going to be able to go straight to Trinex at this, or not Trinex, excuse me. Top of Ganon's Tower, go straight to Agatu. So the seed is more or less over already, despite saving some horrible things that could potentially happen. Olive once again facing his one true enemy, the small electrifying berries. It's apparently the hardest enemy in the game.
They really are.
He's gonna fall into Ganon's hole, and it's gonna be randomized to just one tiny berry that he's got to defeat.
I was kind of saying that to myself too when I was playing my match earlier today. I was like, man, it'd be kind of funny if, you know, Ganon was just randomized as another boss.
Not even a boss, just any enemy from the enemy pool.
Yeah.
Just a popo. Silver is my one true weakness. Also, literally anything else.
It's like the water strider, or not the water strider, the water bullet. It just like kind of materializes and misses you, and then the Triforce room opens. It'd be great.
So,
yeah.
Where was this fire ride?
Probably GT. I mean,
yeah, I mean, there's still a bunch of chests that chests that haven't been opened.
yeah, because it's 100% inventory, right? So it has to be somewhere that they can access. Could be Fat Fairy. It could be like the chest at Scary.
Oh, this is a mean place for EmoSaru.
That's not that bad. Bombs are your best bet here. Hammer's okay too, as long as you stay on the side like they're doing. But it can be very scary. He can pincer you into the back of the pit here, and you just have no chance to dodge. So this is actually a very ambitious fight.
Yeah,
Doing it very well too.
You got 1 billion health.
It's not the health. It's the pit. It's your biggest enemy here.
Oh, I was thinking you could still do like the mold arm thing where you just hold off the pit, but I guess you're gonna run into his hitbox on that one.
Yeah, like his the fire breath would knock you off.
Olive, Jesus.
It's an explosive meme. The worst.
Yeah, using cape in that room right there makes a lot of sense. Normally it's you just get through, but if you don't know what's going to be in there, you guys had a spark like right in the middle of like your dash path, which is a very mean play.
Yep, and the big spike was the follow-up too. Like again, the cape's good too, so you can just dash early. You can get through the bumpers too. So. It's like the one time I would ever use it in a room like that.
So,
pretty nice double there.
I think Trinex was probably just ended up being vanilla today.
It's possible they didn't spawn either. Full boss doesn't guarantee all bosses, does it?
I thought the mode we were playing on was guaranteed full bosses, and 3 of them are doubled up. I thought that's what the settings were. I could be wrong. I am not an Randomizer expert in the least. Yeah,
I honestly don't pay too much attention to the different Randomizers. For bosses, I just always pick chaos and roll with it. I didn't even know full existed until like a side tournament I was in as a thing. I was like,
I kind of like chaos. You're so it could literally just be you could have Trinexes. Like I had one that I jokingly called it the oops all cold stare seed because it was just every time I went into a boss it was a cold stare. I think there was like 6 or 7 in the entire seed.
I was gonna say
it was nightmarish.
I was gonna say what you don't like 6 vitreous seeds? Like what's wrong with you, man?
Yeah. Well, cold stare. I mean, I think cold stare is because again with the whole magic thing, you just keep running at it. It's like, oh, well, I don't have magic. Great. But I think with it being full, you can be maybe a little bit smarter on how to do it. Just at least for racing, I think probably makes a little bit better settings. And it's still, still pretty random. You get 3 of them are randomized. You don't know which ones they are. It still pays to be a little conservative. But I think it keeps the spirit without it getting too wild. Emo going. I think we've been smarter to abandon right side here with thinking the seed. I mean, the seed obviously hasn't given you Fire Rod. She's done so much of it. It's unlikely it's going to be over here.
Fire shield.
I mean, I suppose she feels probably pretty behind here, which she is. It could be like Fire Rod left side, key over here, and she can just skip it. This bombed up is pretty tricky. But anyways, while that was happening, Scaryolive got through his Ganon fight and defeated Ganon and saved Hyrule, having an official SRL time of 1:40:46. And I'm not going to be tricked by this personal best stuff again.
Congratulations, Duck, you did it.
I did do it. And we're now joined by Scaryolive. GG.
Thank you.
Congrats on taking down the U.
First off,
be very, very pleased with yourself.
I just want to congratulate you on that fantastic split timer. Big fan.
Did you guys see that it was my face behind?
Yes, I did. It
was your face?
Okay, because I have an emote, the Scaryolive. I have t-shirts of it too, and it's my face, and I put it in the background here, but nobody noticed in my circle, so friend, nobody saw it.
I kept telling Solsky that it was he said it was your face, and I kept saying, no, I'm pretty sure that's a spinning image of Mariah Carey. So I guess I owe you a beer, Solsky.
I guess the resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the seed was so I gotta say, I feel like beer is helping my game. Cause when you play pool and you really are bad at it, and then you take a look, just 3 beers, and then you're making all the shots and stuff. I felt like my execution was way better than normal, and I attribute that to the beers.
You're only good when you're drunk. Yeah, that's definitely.
Well, you have to not be drunk, but not drunk, not drunk. Just in the the little zone. Yeah. That's what you gotta be.
I mean, look, I'm the proud world record holder of a world record I got when I was 4 beers in, so I completely agree with you.
Exactly. I felt no stress. I was like, well, Trinex already did very, very poorly. So
I like the honesty.
I can't do worse than that. So, and then I was just like, well, I'm just gonna play, and then played pretty well. I mean, except Vitreous in Era, but I went in thinking, we're in Mire. I'm gonna do the spin, and it didn't work. But
Sorry.
My strategy for a second shot, I came it on the spot. I was like, mind blown. We can go from the back, and then that was it.
Yeah, you had a little trouble with Vitreous. I do think your greatest enemy in this seed, however, was the little tiny berries that kept electrifying. You really had some epic battles.
The blue ones are okay. The red ones, I don't know what to do. There's nothing I'm trying to beat the timing. I'm like, okay, now is the time to strike, and then they're always like, no, we're electrified. So I don't know how it works. And I know that there's supposed to be a medallion that kills them from in one shot. And I tried Bombos, and I think it's Quake, I guess, because it's the only one I didn't try.
I don't think Quake affects them, does it? Because they're flying enemies?
I've seen a stream, but I don't remember, but I think there was somebody that used a medallion, killed the red one instantly.
That's a saucy question.
Wait, what was the question?
Yeah, how do you kill the red little? I'm not gonna say how I call them, but
the bar.
how do you kill them like without spawning the 2 childs?
Ice rod or ether.
That's well, I tried ether, I think, but anyways.
No, I don't think in the bar screens you did. But yeah, no, they would have taken care of them.
Yeah, okay, so I need to work on that. Yeah, but
It's okay. Duck needs to work on everything, so don't worry. You're doing great.
What was your SM time again? I forgot. We went over this earlier.
my what?
No, that's the Solsky. Sorry.
Oh,
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
I've never played Super Metroid. And I don't want to get in the topic here because that's off topic, but I don't really understand the whole principle of SMZ3. They're 2 games different. Why play them together? Like, why not add Super Mario World to it? Like, why? I don't know. But I know it's a hot topic, so I'm not gonna get into that.
You know what? Super Metroid sucks anyways, so...
Yeah. Personally, I want to see the Mario Kart randomizer with A Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the actual discussion. I mean, the scene more or less was like both of you kind of had like one kind of like I wouldn't even say mistake, but you had the vitreous death, and then Emo had a weird where she got the fake flipper state after picking up the heart in Waterfall Cave, and she ended up like hard locking after that somehow and had to reset. So you both had like one big like time loss early, and then basically you both just full cleared the seed up into Mitz. You were at Mitz like about a minute ahead of her, and then you went straight to Ice Palace, and she did everything else besides that, which was really the big, like it was really close up until she didn't do Ice Palace.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like everything was great until I went to the mountain, and then I felt like the seed was like slipping away from me because from up until the mountain to getting the mitts, I felt like nothing was going my way. And but yeah, when I saw them at the spike cave, I was not too worried because like you couldn't do it when you went to Era the first time, and so yeah.
Yeah, like I said, you both ended up full doing it. Like there was just a bunch of like if Mitts were in Swamp, then Emo probably wins the seed based on the way everything fell out. But
yeah,
the fact that you both full cleared it, like you ended up getting to Mitts first after both full clearing the seed. So it was one of those weird things that even though it was in a really bad location where it's like, oh, I got random, it's like it's almost more fair that way because you both did everything.
Yeah.
So
that felt all right. Like I had like I think I had powder left when I did it, so. But I wanted to wait on powder so I get the mitts, but then oh wow.
I'm sorry, that was incredible.
Yeah.
I like the triple torch there.
Took me a while to realize that I was in kind of go mode. Like I finished ice, and then I was like, well, I'm still missing fire rod, and then while I was going towards Meyer, that's where I thought, hey, maybe I don't really need it because Trinex, I haven't seen it yet, and I haven't seen the Trinex boss, and I haven't seen Skullwood's boss, and I haven't seen Eastern boss, so that's the only thing I need the fire rod for. And I knew that you can't have Trinex at the top of Ganon's Tower, and I think if you have it in the one on the Ladmodas room, you can like glitch your way through it and despawn it. So I was like,
spawn it in the landmark room?
Well, it happened to me in Dorando. Like it's just like there's too much sting, and then you can. I ended up finding it in the tree chest room. It was weird, but I felt like maybe I could despawn it, but I wasn't 100% sure about that, and I'm still not. But
yeah, well, the things like because you ended up like checking like Meyer chest, the Meyer shed, and like you did the hookshot cave play made sense too. Like you just checked things that were kind of on the way, and I think like we were saying like those were like kind of good. Like they were so quick to do, and you don't know where a Trinex may show up. There's definitely a bunch of checks that made sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But GG, I think, I mean, at least for overall league standings, I think we're probably both fairly happy to just come away with a split on this. We've had, I will say that we have a very front heavy schedule, so just coming away even after the first 3 weeks, I think is good for us. And I think you guys are still sitting at first place, going to be 5-1 now.
Yeah, the division is really hard. So basically, I think like 4 teams are fighting for 2 spots, and it's gonna be even. We could even say like if we're not optimistic about it, like the Pug Trio should have technically. But I feel like we can take on the Pug Trio even. Like Oase had a really good race against him in a Restricted Major Glitch.
Yeah, that was a hot race.
Yeah, so I think like, and the week we face Pug Trio is gonna be the week where we have spoiler. Oh no.
Yeah, she got the fairy though.
Okay. So it's gonna be the spoiler, so we can't get rando, so it's just like basically execution. So I think we can get at least a tie there, and yeah.
Yeah, I assume one of you are going to put up Oase versus Andy probably for the actual players, which will be a really good match.
Yeah, we're gonna try that.
Come down, yeah, that's probably going to come down. That's going to come down to really the pilots of that, which probably isn't going to be the case for most of those.
Yeah, the problem is I'll be the pilot for both races, and I really struggle at it. And also, me and Oase have thought about the idea of doing like the pilot. I speak French mostly in my life. Oase speaks Spanish. And we're thinking about doing like French, Spanish, no translation. But we'll see how we do when we get there. This is
a hot development right here.
Oh my god, this is a hotter development than me piloting emo, which
oh my god,
I still think is probably a bigger meme.
Because like Spanish and French is like very similar roots. Like I can understand Spanish, but I can't speak it, and I think Oase could probably much understand French if I speak slowly. So, but like it really depends. Like if we take this very seriously, we won't do it. But if we just are there for the fun, we might do it. So we'll see.
Could you do it, but have the voice call open for one of us? That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be. Oh, if I pilot emo, I'm 100% going to be streaming the audio.
Yeah, probably like
100% happen. 100%. That's going to be a hotter watch than the actual race.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. Like the pilot has the audio open. And then the streamer that's gonna be restreaming no voice audio, and then so you can go back and watch the craziness happen.
I wish I could just like backseat without the script as well, and not spoiler race, just so I can act like the brat kid in the backseat.
Oh, just like not having spoiler, just like
yeah, just like smack talk both of you. Yeah. Are we in Manitoba yet? You guys there yet? Anyways, emo done.
Yeah. Official SRL time of 1:52:25.
Brings the greatest of shame to the U10 clan.
We're all a nice 1-1 in our matches, so it's the U10 clan turns out to be kind of a socialist paradise. Everyone's just all even up.
Listen. Don't be talking about my shame that I've brought.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. What is our team name?
It's the emo show.
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, no,
we're not Pug Trio here. We're not.
Better question. Did Duck give you pointers on how to route that game? Because I kind of feel like Duck gave you pointers how to route late game.
We are the U-Tang clan. There was a glitch that just got allowed that was discovered by the OG himself, and you put it off for 20 minutes.
Okay, listen.
I'm upset.
No. We hadn't. I got real scared about a Trinex. Okay, I was very concerned about the Trinex. I had a ton of items up on Dark Death Mountain. And so I made the choice that I made, and it was wrong. Because the thing to do in the seed was just to be hella optimistic after getting the mitts. And I did not do that. And I'm, look, I did do the glitch when I got there. But, yeah, you just, over on the other side of that voice call all you want. I don't care. I have tea and I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was pretty much the. I mean, Olive got to the. I mean, you guys both last case in the midst. He got to him about a minute ahead of you. So if you guys had followed on the same path, it would have been real close. But that's basically why there's such a giant gap here. Well, that and all the horrible things you did in GT.
Yeah, I felt suspicious about the flippers because like I did all of what's it called, swamp and nothing in there. So and the flippers open nothing also in like Zora area. So why do I have flippers if it unlocks nothing? So I just followed them.
Yeah, that would have been smart. But what I opted to do instead was I just followed my heart. I didn't want to follow the flippers. I just followed my heart.
Should have followed the U.
Yeah, well, I didn't. So I went up to Dark to the Mountain, Turtle Rock, and all that sort of stuff. And there was no Trinex. Honestly, like, I was gonna forfeit, and then I was like, no, I want to see if there was a Trinex, and he won because he got Fire Rod out of Pyramid Fairy. And then I saw there was no Trinex, and so then I was like, well, I know Chelsea drafted me in the fantasy league, so I don't want to deprive her of like 8 fantasy points. So then I finished.
I know the only person I know who drafted me was Andy, and I take great joy in depriving him.
No, you gotta hold all the points back from him. You can't be giving him points. He'll start dressing his teammates up in his points if you let him have points.
His team and that one very pretty lady he's got.
I don't know how he made that happen, but good for him.
That's Futon.
Oh right, yeah, Futon. Yeah, I don't know how that happened either.
Apparently, it's had a time, but I think that's just the backstory cover up.
Sure. All right. Well, I've been commentating for like 3 hours, so do you guys have anything else to say?
I'd just like to know why my name is Scaryolive and not the Olive Pit.
That's
It's
a good question.
Yeah.
My final comment will be, you guys don't know this yet, but Duck's an absolute monster and doesn't eat string cheese properly, and it still makes me sick to this day.
Gotta house that. It's one big old bite.
I just don't understand you right now. Yup.
This is the line.
We've been searching for the line for a while now. We might have just found it.
Teammate search to replace starts tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, we got a free agent coming on the scene. My final statement is that I am hungry, and I have string cheese, and I might go eat it properly, like a human, by pulling it into strings of cheese, because it is called string cheese. And if it wasn't called string cheese, you didn't pull it.
Stringed. Why do I have to stringify the string?
Why do you hate joy? Like why are you so
It's like, just get a block of cheese.
Just buy Baby Bells if you want. Yeah.
They should make like adult sized string cheese, because the problem with string cheese is like it's too small. It's for children. But if they made like a really big one, then it would be more fun, I guess.
So what you're saying is that the reason that Duck eats string cheese in one bite is because it's too small.
Yeah, it's not a lot of cheese. It's like just...
It looks like a single bite. So if you had literally a full wheel of low moisture mozzarella, then he would maybe pull strings off. That's what you're suggesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's way more logical than anything he was gonna say about it. So I'll take it.
It's like pseudo mozzarella and Elmer's glue. Yeah.
We could probably sit here talking about string cheese for hours, but I think it's time to be signing off. But yeah, it was real fun doing this. Us all doing the commentary together. Shout outs to both Trinex and Scaryolive for playing along with the joke. We appreciate it.
That was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. GG again.
Good luck in your upcoming races. Yeah, I think we're both pretty happy with at least the split. I mean, like for us, our first couple weeks have been really front loaded. So, go beat the Pug Trio. Get a little revenge for us.
I think if we can 1-1 Pug Trio, 1-1 Clown, we should be all right. But we'll see.
Yeah, you guys are sitting in a good spot, being 5-1 now, I believe, right? Yeah. So, all right, GG everyone. I think this is the last match of the day on Speed Gaming. I don't know. I don't think there's another match on right now. I had all this time to check, and I didn't.
No, I've heard we were the last match on Speed Gaming. I don't know about the other channels, but
Yeah, I think sometime. Oh yeah, we're definitely done. I just saw what time it is. But anyways, everyone have a good night. There'll be a bunch of stuff coming up tomorrow. A bunch of good matches. So just check the schedule, check those out, and follow our runners, follow Scary, follow Trinex, follow Emo, follow Solsky. And we will be seeing you guys later.